Hello, we're Biscuiteers, the original hand-iced biscuit company. Each year we ice over 3 million biscuits by hand, and today we wanted to show you how to ice some spooky circles. Everyone has a circular cookie cutter in their kitchen drawers, but today we thought we'd show you how to use that cookie cutter to the best of its ability with a nice Halloween twist. Ready to enchant your guests, these spooky circles will be the best thing for your party. You will need, of course, a circle cookie cutter, size doesn't matter, some piping bags and some squeezy bottles. Let's begin with our pumpkin. We take our orange line icing and trace around the shape of the biscuit, in this case a circle. Our line icing is a thicker form of icing that we use to make walls on our biscuit so that when we flood it, the icing doesn't run and make a big mess. As shown here, our flood icing is a runnier consistency, which makes it ideal for covering big spaces. But make sure you've added your line icing to keep those walls in. We next flood the biscuit with the orange icing. We then pop our flooded biscuit in the oven at 50 degrees Celsius for around 30 minutes. Don't worry, this doesn't cook the biscuit, it simply dries the icing so that it's easier to work with. On to the decoration. We take our orange line icing and pipe a straight line down the middle of the biscuit. Next, we add 3 curved lines either side of this straight line so that it appears to be curved, like a pumpkin would be. Next, we need to add in this scary face. You can choose whatever you like. Perhaps you'd like to copy the face you chose for your actual pumpkin. We take our black line icing and pipe 2 triangles for eyes, and then a smaller triangle in the middle below these 2 for the nose. We then make a semicircle for the bottom of the mouth and create creepy teeth by drawing squares within our semicircle. You can then fill this in with your black line icing and your first spooky circle is done. How terrifying. On to our next circle. We created a spider's web. For this we take our white line icing and ice around the edge of the biscuit. Again, waiting 5 minutes for this to harden and then flooding with the white icing. But before we pop this into the oven, we also use a purple and black flood icing to create a thick line, like so. We take our toothpick and drag these lines in, creating a web pattern. Make sure to wipe your toothpick each time so that the line stays fresh and clean. Once you're happy with your webs, you can pop them in the oven to dry. Now to add some details. What does every web need? A spider, of course. We take our orange line icing and ice a large circle onto the centre of the web. We then add in 8 black legs and some creepy eyes. You could make your spider whatever colour you like though. And there we go, your spider's web is ready for fly catching. Onto our scary eye. Just like before, we add in the white iced walls of the biscuit, but we also ice another smaller circle just a little off centre. This will act as the eyeball. We then flood both sections. We went for a purple eye, but you could have green, blue, orange, or perhaps even the technique that we used on the biscuit before. Once this is dried, add in some depth by going around the purple circle with your line icing and also adding the pupil. We did ours a little off centre for dramatic effect. We then need to add in some red lines around the white of the eye for maximum spookiness. This can be done as little or as much as you'd like. And there we go, your eye is ready for spooking your guests. Okay, on to the hardest of all of the circles, a bubbling cauldron. Instead of icing the full circle, we create a cauldron shape onto the circle. If you want to practice this on a piece of baking parchment beforehand, please do. You can also pause the video so that you can see the shape that we chose and copy it as best you can. Once you're happy with your cauldron shape, we can fill it in with black flood icing and let it set. Now time for the fun part. Eye of newt and toe of frog. What are you going to add to your cauldron? We begin by adding the lip, by just icing 2 brown wiggly lines across the top of the shape, like so. We then create the green bubbles boiling over by making a green shape and filling it in with lots of little dots so that they look like bubbles. To add a little bit more dimension, we also do this in a darker green as well. Make sure you have the bubbles coming over the cauldron so that it appears to be bubbling over. We add in some white circles, make sure they are different sizes, as well as some bones. You can do this as much or as little as you would like. We then create some eyeballs with the larger white circles we made earlier, as well as adding in some pops of red for the bones. And there we go, your cauldron is ready to cast spells and cause mischief. On to our last circle. We created a mummy. This is probably our easiest circle. We create long, slender rectangles going across the biscuit in different directions. We then fill these in, make sure you've left enough room in the middle for the eyes, and we then add in the 2 ovals and fill these in to create the pupils with black line icing. And there we have it. So simple, yet so effective. And there we go. You will be the ghostess with the mostess this Halloween. If you liked this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe for more baking tips and tricks. We hope you have a happy Halloween and enjoy making these. If you do create anything we'd absolutely love to see, simply tag us using the handle @Biscuiteers Ltd. See you next time!